Hey guys, as you can see, everything's dark in here. Uh, that's partly because the AC died and it's 87 freaking degrees, and I don't need lights on, making it even hotter. I'm hoping my computer doesn't go kaputs on me. So it's one of those days. We don't know how long we're going to have the AC out up in the upstairs part of the house. Luckily, the bottom half is still working so far. Um, what it is there's some sort of coil up in the attic that the refrigeration's working and everything, but there's this one little part that's like frozen solid or something, and then let the air pass through, so they have to replace the whole thing. Lovely, right? So that's my day. Oh no, it's not. My van won't start. I had to sit there for 45 minutes charging the van before I could go take my cat to the vet because he was sick again and they gave him more medicine. They don't know what's wrong with him. So I'm having just a great Friday. How about you, Chris?
Oh, yeah, it's Raven's own personal war.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my kitty, she's feeling okay, but she played with a mouse yesterday to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found a mouse and was just batting that sucker around, and like she doesn't eat the mice, she just like plays with them to death.
Yes. Well, there you go.
Well, it's about time she did her damn job because Angie and I, for the longest time, we were like, I think she lied on her job application. Like she said she was a mouser, and she is not a mouser.
Why are you the fat man who laughs? I thought you were private call today.
Oh, I forgot about that. I have this shirt on. Angie got me this shirt. She found a
Ah,
Batman shirt for me.
cool.
So I thought the fat man who laughs
Yes. Let's take a closer look at that. Okay.
represents Poison Ivy, Two Face, the Joker, and Mr. Freeze.
Freeze. Okay. It's different. That is different.
Yeah, she found it at the store, so she always gets me anything that she can find me like that. So that's cool.
Yeah, well, it's so hard to find you anything in your size. I mean, yeah.
It is. It absolutely is. Yes.
So there you go. I mean, that's the thing there, you know. Hold on a minute. My computer is being really crappy right now. Um, hmm. What is it trying to do? Ah, that's what it's trying to do. Okay, just a second. It's saying I didn't share the link on Facebook
Oh, okay.
or anywhere else. So let me just quickly get those in there so that we can get people to watch the show. Right? No, we don't want to watch you. Especially if you're melting. Melting.
Right? Melting. What a world. What a world.
Live. Watch the Raven melt. Yeah.
And he's got Speed Fan next to him. Go, Speed Fan, go. I don't know if I'm going to make it, Raven.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it either. Oh, that's the sad part. Yeah. Now we were kind of hoping that it would just be a little thing, you know, but we can easily.
Right.
But nope, it's the worst possible scenario other than replacing the entire thing at $6,000-7,000 a freaking whole thing. So
How old's the air conditioner?
6 or 7 years.
Oh, that's not bad.
Um, yeah, it's just all right. Now everybody's got their stuff.
All right.
We just have to turn that off and that off. There we go. Maybe people will show up. So we are actually today's been my war, but we're going to talk about Jack Kirby's war.
Yes.
Kirby at War, from U.S. Soldier to Comic Artist from 2017. The French name is Le Guerre de Kirby. Written by Mark Azama and Jen Capelli. Written by Jen Capelli as a research historian. Produced by Fabrice Lambeau, Jean-Pierre Guterres, and Jean-Marc Saunier, or Saunier?
Saunier.
Saunier, okay. Starring Kyle Schell, John Capelli, Francois, I think it's Cochran, Boris Styrulink, Joanne Safar, John Morrow, Jose Ladron, Dominique Serene, Rand Hupp, Mark Evanier, David Glanzer, Lisa, Tracy, Jillian, and Jeremy Kirby, with archival footage from Jack and Roz, Kirby, and Will Eisner, and others. This was released in November 2017 to sort of coincide with Kirby's 100th, what would have been Kirby's 100th birthday. It has a runtime of 52 minutes. You go ahead.
All right. So this is Kirby at War, from a U.S. Soldier to Comic Artist, 2017. French name is La Guerre de Kirby. What it's about: the film discusses the period of Jack Kirby's life where he served as a U.S. Army infantryman in France during World War II, and how different experiences parlayed into what he would later become known for as a comic artist after his return from the war. Different historical experts, both comics and war history, varied former associates of Kirby's who had taken extensive talks with him about his time in World War II, and others give insights and opinions as to how these experiences shaped Kirby's psyche and personality later in life.
What did I think? Well, truth be told, I was slightly disappointed in the film. I was expecting a little bit more, or actually a lot more, direct association from his war experiences directly to the art, particularly when he was doing, a direct comparison to the books, like The Losers or Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, or how certain seasons comics were directly from places or things he had seen in his time in France. And the film does touch on these things, but it's on a much more limited level than I had been anticipating. There could have been a 10-minute segment just on The Losers alone. They could have had a 5 to 7-minute segment explaining how the Thing in Fantastic Four actually is how Kirby saw himself in Ben Grimm, and how his appearance had changed from young and good-looking to old, broken in his own mind, and questioning whether anyone would ever love him again, especially his beloved wife Roz, was very parallel to how Ben Grimm perceives himself in his existence and his change in appearance in the comic. I just expected more of that kind of a conversation, and it wasn't there. And it's in so many other sources that I was just a little bit surprised, I guess. I do enjoy everything that was brought to the film, and I especially enjoyed seeing the tribute memorials that have been made to him in Europe. And there are several, but they showed 2. And then they talked about the world traveling Kirby Museum type situation, which was also really cool as well. But I guess for me, I've read so much about his history with the military and stuff in John Morrow's Jack Kirby Collector magazine and other historical magazines that, well, I felt this was a great introduction to this aspect of who Jack was. It was just slightly truncated, and there could have been deeper exploration. Probably another 15 to 20 minutes worth just on the war comic stuff he did before and post his service.
Yeah, absolutely. Good documentary. Very entertaining and pretty informative, at least for me. I feel like I just felt like they overemphasized the whole war theme because that was the idea behind the documentary, but you think that they didn't go far enough in. So uh, I think we're both surprised though the that the film was actually French. Well, some of it was in French with subtitles,
Yeah, about
and
half Rich.
yeah, and how much of the film comes from more of a European perspective than an American
Yeah,
perspective.
well, I think that was because it's just the filmmakers were French, and
Right.
the historian was French, but it was also because they were showing just how much more appreciated he is over in Europe than he is here, seemingly in America.
Right. Which that's par for the course for America too. So it seems like Jack was crapped on a lot of his life here. Uh I know I didn't know that there were tributes to Jack that was presented in the film were in foreign countries. Yeah, it just demonstrates how much influence he had worldwide as an artist and how undervalued he was here in America. Yes, absolutely. I did enjoy I like the Kirby style graphics and animations that were throughout the whole thing. I thought that was pretty cool.
A lot of that was actually Jose Ladrone doing Kirby knockoff work.
Oh yeah, well, whoever did it, yeah, I thought that was pretty
I
cool.
mean, when they actually used the Kirby stuff, there was stuff that was Kirby's as well, but like the stuff that was like the coverage you saw, the Daguerre Kirby thing there, that was Ladrone.
Okay.
And when Ladrone was drawing, like showing what Kirby Crackle was and showing
Right.
different things like that, you could see that there was different things they used that was based off of what Ladrone was giving them. But I loved when they showed some of the original art that they had for like the losers and stuff like that. The losers are a military unit story comics, and they're out in war and stuff, and from DC Comics, and it's like nothing ever goes right for them, basically. Yeah. But anyway, I would have liked to have seen where they made the analysis of who of his friends were those characters,
Right.
because they mentioned certain people that were his friends in the military there in combat, and certain characters are based on those people, and it wouldn't maybe DC doesn't want that stuff to be known as much. They don't want to have it admitted in a public documentary because that would mean maybe the families would say, "Hey, you print that, we want a cut or something." Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But I wish there was some more of that, and I kind of wished they had done more. They had the doctor there that was talking about the the psyche and how he changed psychologically. After he left New York to go to California, I wish they had done a little bit more, because it wasn't just the war, but the betrayal he felt from what was going on in his career at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He left Marvel and went to DC and everything. Because of the way he had that camaraderie, and you basically are trusting other people with your life. This is to him, he was very. I mean, he knows it's a business. He knew it was. He knew how cutthroat the business is, obviously. But Jack was a very loyal person. He might not take much shit, but he was loyal to a fault, I think, to certain extents. On once he trusted you, I mean, you really had to really screw him over. But they also mentioned he got like this special award in 2017 at the San Diego Comic-Con in conjunction with his 100th, what would have been his 100th birthday. Um, and that was interesting because you see the children and the grandchildren of Jack accepting the award and everything. And I get it, and I understand the things that they're doing with his legacy and trying to keep things going. Not so much monetarily, but just so that people won't forget who he was.
Right.
Because like one daughter or granddaughter said, you go see Marvel movie, based on characters by Stan Lee, no mention of Jack, no mention of you know, Steve Ditko or anybody else, hardly.
Right.
At the beginning of this, especially at the beginning of this movie, you might see it in the special thanks, and then you see like a whole ton of people listed. Well, what exactly does that mean? Whereas with Jack, I mean, I didn't know he had the clubfoot situation.
I did not know that either. Was not aware that he got the trench foot.
Yeah, he got trench foot. That's what I was. Yeah. For those who don't know what that means, it means he got his feet were infected from cold and bad weather conditions and froze, and basically he could have lost both of his legs from the knee down. And easily, or worse.
Let me tell you from personal experience, never having actually like fought overseas or anything like that, but even during basic training and like all training missions, your feet are like perpetually cold and wet. It sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And remember back then they didn't have the treatments, and he was very fortunate to have recovery that he did.
Yes.
But the Professor Xavier character, part of the reason he was in the wheelchair was because at the time Jack was in a wheelchair.
Right.
And people may not know that. So that was some of the sort of interesting information that the film did offer us. So I gave it. You gave it a 3? Yeah, you gave
it a 3. Yeah,
you gave it a 3. I gave it a 3.5. It's better than average, I think, but it is just an introductory thing. Hopefully, we'll someday see something that's even more. Like I would actually do a series with him.
He deserves a series.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would do a whole series of when he did the crime comics to the war comics to creating the romance comics to the and what was going on in different times and why.
Right.
I think that and it wouldn't be just about him. I mean, there's other people in the industry that were doing things and contributing too. I think it should be about almost like a madman, but just comics.
Yeah, I mean, he contributed so much to the modern day comic book that it just, you can't even express how much he contributed and how valuable he was to what comics are today. Even if you don't like his art, which some of his art styles I don't care for, like his really stripped down stuff, I don't care for. I actually enjoyed his romance comic style. I like that a lot more. And like his self portraits, I thought those were really cool.
Yeah, those self portraits were amazing.
Yeah, I thought those were fantastic. Like, obviously, you knew the man can draw, but he did what he did for a very specific reason, and he drew like he drew. So,
absolutely. Well, again, he had like 4 or 5 different art styles as a comic artist.
Yeah,
don't acknowledge it because they're used to him. They're thinking the Marvel look. Everything's about Marvel. Well, keep in mind, he did something different before Marvel because he was still working for them, doing the monster comics in the 50s before the 60s thing came out, and the artwork was different. So it's like, I find it weird that they do what they do, but that's just what comes with fandom.
Well, even when he moved to DC, I mean, I think it's a pretty well-known fact that Like when he did draw Superman,
Mm-hmm.
they would have DC artists redraw his Superman heads
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't like the way they looked. They wanted that classic Superman look, and that's just insulting.
Yeah, it was. But, yeah. Why'd you hire him to draw Superman if you want him to draw his Superman?
Yeah, they wanted the name, they wanted the everything else, but they didn't like his faces.
Yeah, I don't know. But oh well, it is what it is. We can't change it.
Right.
So I'm going to take next week off completely because I don't know how long it's going to take them to get the air conditioning fixed. We've ordered parts. As soon as they get the parts, they're going to come do it. Obviously. But who knows? Probably won't be until after the weekend. So I'm thinking this. Yeah, that.
Yep. That heat is inhumane. So
yeah. So I'm. The good news is I will be able to take my books downstairs and read the books and not be on the computer because we can't have the computer running in this heat too much.
Right. Yeah, your thermostat's going to go through the roof.
Yeah. So I don't know. Alrighty. So we're gonna go ahead and just skip what we were going to do next week, but our next episode for Friday night, whenever we get to it, whether it's next week or the week after, will be for Zeta Painting with Fire.
Should be very, very good. Good discussion.
So that's what we got for you tonight. And if you want to reach out to me, I'm probably going to be a little bit delayed in getting back to you because of what's going on. But Facebook, Lewis Scott Bright Raven, at Twitter or X at Lewis Bright Raven 2. You can see my work online at deviantart.com/brightraven. You can see Chris's art at deviantart.com/fatboy73. And this is not letting me copy when I need to copy. Why is it not doing that? All right. Tomorrow you are going to have a recording.
Yeah, it's gonna be pre-recorded because David had to go out of town.
So make sure you go to Glasshouse Graphics 5C5Q. There we go.
Yeah, the Glasshouse Graphics YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And it will be on at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, and the guest is?
Oh, my goodness.
You forgot again.
I did. Carlos Granda.
Carlos Granda. Your dog wants to go out, doesn't it?
She does.
Okay. Well, anyway, in the meantime, emails are quothravenlbr72@gmail.com. I'll get back to you there. Try lewisbrightраven@yahoo.com. And Chris is at ghthrowingstones@gmail.com. Okay, Private, you're dismissed. We'll see you next time. Quoth the Raven. Nevermore.
Nevermore.